What makes a hero? A question we all take personally, and I hope we all take time to consider the heroes in our lives. But what makes them so special that we give them that title? For me, a hero is someone who has my ideals and the courage to back them up. They are a shining example of an ordinary person who stands up for their beliefs enough to encourage others. So, what happens when a hero becomes a superhero? And that's what brings us to the topic of today. Why are Superman and Allmight so different? When they are the same character, what makes Superman dated and Allmight an inspiration? After all, they are both the shining symbol of peace that everyone can look up to. Their appearances are similar, they both have the same ideals, and they are both ordinary citizens trying to make the world a better place by lifting others around them. Maybe I'm looking into this too hard. Maybe we can just settle this by comparing who is the strongest superhero, and which has more powers. Or maybe a hero is so much more than their superpowers. Let's take a look at each character and get a good comparison. Superman is an iconic superhero who has spanned multiple generations to the point where you can ask several people who their Superman is, and I guarantee you'll get a different answer every time. Not only that, but I bet you know someone who owns a Superman shirt or PJs. I don't judge. And they claim they aren't a fan. So, who is this hero that everyone can rally to his flag, even though they tell you their favorite hero is Batman or Spider-Man? Kind of a dumb question, huh? Who is Superman? The super strong guy who could fly and shoot lasers from his eyes? Idiot. Cool, but I could have thought of that too. So why can't I come up with a super Stoss-man and sell his merch? No one cares, and rightfully so. Super Stoss-man is a gimmick and a poor marketing scheme to steal Superman's spotlight. Man, Superman. That guy is always getting in my way to earn a free buck. I might be siding with Lex Luthor soon enough. And that's what I'm talking about. Superman is so much more than a flying alien from space who can lift buildings and or continents made of his weakness. He is you and me. Superman is an ordinary man with an ordinary job doing the ordinary grind to pay his bills. And that's what makes him great. He is a good guy who is given great powers and he uses them to better everyone else's lives. But wait, that's boring. Let me get this straight. Someone like that isn't going to use his powers to, go to the bottom of the ocean and collect all the second treasure and live his life in luxury. That's just a selfish idea I came up with on the spot. I have enough problems. Why should I take on the world's problems? And that's just it. You could fly around and solve everyone's problems all day, but there will continue to always be new problems to solve, and one person can't do it alone, no matter how super they are. That's why Superman must become something more. He needs to become the symbol of hope and peace that everyone can look up to. When you inspire people to become the better versions of themselves, the whole world begins to change for the better. Subconsciously, you and I believe this, but we lost our way. And Superman has also gone through an identity crisis. In the era of the 90s, superheroes were becoming edgier and some of them got complete makeovers for the better? Maybe? I don't think it worked for a lot of them. Anyway, everyone will tell you, yeah, that's why they wanted to kill Superman and he was just a Boy Scout trying to keep up and people didn't want that anymore. That didn't work out either. Superman is so iconic that his death they came up with was short-lived. Ironically, even Doomsday, man, so edgy, couldn't kill what Superman represents. But that was the thing, right? Now that Superman is back from the dead, what did he represent? Why revive him if we don't know what to do with his character? He just isn't relatable, and any character they come up with a good boy mentality and a love for justice is doomed to be ended by an unoriginal Doom monster, right? Right? Wrong. For Allmight is here. He is a super strong, charismatic, likable citizen like you and me. Hey, wait a minute. He's literally Superman without every power. So what's going on here? I guess to find out what's the difference, we need to look at what makes Allmight the new Superman. For starters, Allmight talks to people. This new trend of moody superheroes who distance themselves from the people they are supposed to protect is very alien. You're telling me with all that power and confidence you can't say something inspirational to anyone? Or at least give us a reassuring smile to let us know things will be okay? All Might admits several times he doesn't know if things will work out, and he admits he is scared. He knows his limits and he also knows what's on the line if he fails. See? Don't you feel inspired already? All Might doesn't have all the answers. He doesn't know if things will work out. He just knows what's right and is willing to fight for it. And I think we have come to expect too much from these heroes and superheroes. We know they'll win at the end of the day, like a cheap Saturday morning cartoon, so we just expect them to be glorified problem solvers. This might come as a surprise to you, but these battles of good and evil are actually metaphorical. Sometimes the villain makes a strong argument, maybe the guy they are getting even with deserves it. But that's where you see the hero stand for their convictions. The hero doesn't need to be the strongest and smartest. The hero doesn't need to be perfect. Maybe the hero just needs to be willing to stand for what they believe in, even against superpowered or overwhelming odds. And that's where you can put yourselves in the shoes of All Might or Superman. You can envision yourself standing for what's right and having the strength to fight impossible odds, and you aren't supposed to do it alone. Superman and All Might have their friends, and I know it sounds like a friendship meme, but this is the point of the characters. They need someone to fight for, or else what's the point? Heroes are so much more than costume parties and superpowers. They are us and our beliefs, the ideals we strive for, and the causes we care about. That's why we have heroes, and why they mean so much to us. And maybe it's time for us to stand up for our heroes and fight for their ideals. I would hope more and more people can get together and agree that someone like Superman should never be like the edgier injustice version of himself, and someone like All Might would never be as interesting if he were a villain. I would hope that we can keep our expectations of our heroes in line. I don't want to see Superman curb stomp a thug like Batman, or see All Might using a gun to stop a bad guy permanently. We have other so-called heroes for those types of genres. Let's all agree that Superman and All Might have their own category of heroes, and let's stick with that. I think we should all expect the best of these two characters. That way they can transcend time and be the character each generation expects them to be. I would love for Superman to be the same character for the next generation as he was for the last. And honestly, if we can't get that, then I'm completely okay with someone getting fired for not doing their homework. Don't come in here with an established character and pretend there are no good stories left to tell with him. All Might has proven there are more stories to tell with a good guy with superpowers. We just need to look at ourselves and start asking the difficult question. Have I changed? Do I no longer believe in truth, justice, or the American way? Maybe we need to believe in heroes again. Maybe we need to believe there is still good in this world, and it's worth fighting for. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope it gave you something to think about. Bye for now.